Hello friends! Today I've got 3 of my favorite metric modulations to show you. If you already know what those are, you came to the right place. I'll show you 3 really cool modulations of increasing, shall we say, level. If not, don't go yet! Metric modulations are a really cool way for an entire band to seemingly shift gears in mid-song. Sometimes they can be planned as part of the arrangement, and other times they can even be spontaneous. It's kind of an acquired taste, but if you see Ronnie Caspi doing this and think, I want that. The modulation, mind you. This may be for you. Here's another example I like. Anyway, I'm Nate from the 80/20 Drummer, and metric mods don't have to be so mysterious. We'll talk about it, and I'll also have transcriptions available for free download at the link below the player. Let's get into it. The first modulation is this. It relies on a basic property of triple meters. The fact that to get 12, you can multiply 3 by 4, or 4 by 3. In math class, that's kind of the same thing, but in music, it's not. If this seems abstract, I'm going to explain everything. First, a basic shuffle. Shuffles are typically swung, which is to say that instead of being based on notes that are the same distance apart, like this funk groove. In fact, see how when I play the subdivision on the hats, all the notes are the same distance apart? Now let me play that shuffle again. When I play the subdivisions on the hats, there's a lilt to them, a swing. A common way to think about this is in groups of 3 notes, where you remove the second one. And if you play a shuffle in 4/4, you get 4 groups of those 3 notes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, for 12. I'll play those on the hats with the kick drum on quarters, then I'll play a bar of the shuffle. But remember when I said 12 is 4 times 3, but also 3 times 4? Instead of playing the bass drum every 3 notes, what if I play it every 4? I'll do a bar of each. Now I'll keep the hi-hats on the original quarter notes and make the same switch. That's already a cool sound, but it's not really a metric modulation yet. For that, let me play the snare on every second kick note during the bar in which we're only playing 3. Now I'll remove the hi-hats for reference and stay in the implied meter for longer. I'll also give you one embellishment to make this sound even cooler. Now I'll go back and forth. And Bob's your uncle. To be a true metric modulation, you have to start thinking and feeling in the new meter. So these are technically implied metric modulations, since they'll sound to an audience like you're changing meter, but within the band, you'll keep counting the original pulse in your head. Ready for number 2? Our second pattern works really well for actual metric modulations between 4 and 5 and back. Podcast guest Richard Spavin likes to use this one a lot. I heard Nate Wood use it live on a gig a couple years ago too. It's easiest starting in 5 because there we get to start with 16th notes. I'll count off 5 quarter notes, then play a kind of boring beat in 5. Next, I'll move the snare to the offbeat of beat 3. Next, I'll remove all reference to the 5 on the hats. What's left is just a 4/4 beat. If we want to modulate fully to 4, we can throw in some 16ths to really imply the new meter's strong. Before we talk about getting back to 5, let's mention the math. This works analogously to the first metric modulation. 4 times 5 is 20, and so is 5 times 4. What we're exploiting going from 5/4 to 4/4 is that groups of 5 eighth notes in the original meter become eighth note quintuplets in the new meter. Sound confusing? I'll play 10 notes on the hats, playing the bass drum every 2, and you'll hear a very clear 5/4. When I play the bass drum every 5, it's ambiguous. But when I play it 4 times per bar, it sounds like 4, but a little funny. That's because when we're in 4, we have to feel quintuplets, which aren't a subdivision that's as familiar as 16ths. But one thing that's increasingly familiar is this Dilla feel, which maps pretty well onto quintuplets. So to get from 5 back to 4, we'll play quarters. Then we'll turn that into a Dilla feel with kick drum on every quarter. Then we'll reduce the kick down to only 1 and 3. Then 1 and 3 of the 4 become 1 and the offbeat of 3 in the 5. Then Bob's your uncle. Ready for the last one? This is a shorter video today, so I just wanted to get right to it. But remember, for free transcriptions of any of this stuff, just click the link below the player and tell us where to send it on the next page. Okay, this last one isn't for the faint of heart. Or maybe it is. Modulating from 5 to 7. And this is one we kind of fudge a wee bit. Okay, I'm going to start playing a groove in 5. Next, I'm going to play 3/4 during the first 3 beats of the 5, and 2/3 during the last 2. Say what? Don't worry, I'll explain. But first, let me just play it, with the hats as I keep the other stuff steady. When I'm ready, I can just jump on the new meter train and ride it out of town. And ride it right out of... So what's happening here? Well, the 4/3 is just a rehash of what we did in modulation Uno. Recall that we can subdivide 12 into 3 groups of 4 or 4 groups of 3. If I play my kick drum in 3/4 and play 16ths on the hats accenting all the quarters, then change to accenting every 3 16ths, Bob's your uncle. It's the same thing when we play 3/2, but at half the rate. If I play 3 on the kick drum and 8th notes on the hats, then accent every 3 hat notes, you get 3 notes in the space of 2. To hear how this sounds, let me play it over the 5 again. And we'll switch. To get back, God, remember how in every Everest documentary there's a group who leaves for the summit too late in the day, then spends too long there, then it's getting dark? And oh yeah, you're not lost in a parking lot in the dark, you're on the summit of Everest? That's kind of what it feels like with what we've bitten off here. But we just take it in reverse. Over the first 4 of the 7, you play 3/4, and over the last 3, you play 2/3. Again, I'll do this on the hats while continuing the 7 with the rest of the limbs. Then just latch onto the implied meter of the hat accents and that's how you get the gig! That's actually really how you get the gig. Trust me, you guys, this is exactly what bands want. Anywho, hope you guys enjoyed this short one, a little bit of a shorty. If you got a constructive comment, or heck, a destructive one, leave it below. And just a reminder, you can download a free transcription of all the exercises in this video by clicking the link below the player and telling us where to send it on the next page. Dudes, it's been real. See you again real soon in another lesson of the week.